Do you know how bad your excuses have to be for MAGA not to believe them? I mean, really, do you know how bad? Do you know how bad it has to be for MAGAs not to buy it? Hey, shout out to all of our subscribers and members here on the channel. I am Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, when we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse. You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, these first few months of 2025 have just given us so many beautiful examples of MAGA on MAGA crime.
I can't tell you how sick of it I am. I'm watching him today selling Teslas in front of the White House.
Are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy.
And he says, I'm going to get in one of these suckers. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This weird voice he's always doing, this weird jokey joke gimmick.
This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
It's just stupid. It's just stupid and embarrassing and just dumb. And I can't tell you how annoying it is now. Billions and billions. Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars of fraud and waste and all other things. I mean, our country's going to be very strong very soon.
It's like a bad sitcom. It's like Jar Jar Binks. Trump has turned into like Jar Jar Binks of the Republican Party. I can't stand it anymore. It's like just, and yeah, call it Trump derangement syndrome. It's more just like Trump annoyance syndrome. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Maybe you guys still think it's funny. I've been on the Trump train for 10 years, and it's like, I can't take it anymore.
Elon Musk, once again, brother, I'm smart enough to tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You are a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American. All you are is a globalist, okay? A globalist.
You would think that an attorney general who is supposed to be like the leading law enforcement official in our country would speak with a little bit more confidence in her voice, right? Like, do you really feel that she truly believes in what she's saying when she stutters the way she stutters and the way that she, you know, has to kind of dilly-dally around the way she speaks? I don't really feel that she's even believing the bullshit coming out of her own mouth. I don't.
But the cheapest shot here, Jack, was when Byron made it clear he was running for governor and the president endorsed him. Governor DeSantis criticized Byron Donalds for missing votes in Congress when he was out campaigning for President Trump in 2024, which is ironic because Ron DeSantis missed a record number of votes while he himself was running for governor.
So you knew when Trump and his inner circle had the worst excuses since Jerry Springer for SignalGate, it might be a problem.
The Signals chat controversy that's going on, is DOJ involved at this point? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, first, it was sensitive information, not classified, and inadvertently released. And what we should be talking about is it was a very successful mission. Our world is now safer because of that mission. We're not going to comment any further on that. If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach bit, talk about the classified documents in Joe Biden's garage that Hunter Biden had access to. This was not classified information, and we are very pleased with the results of that operation and that the entire world is safer because of it.
But the mainstream media continues to be focused on a sensationalized story from the failing Atlantic magazine that is falling apart by the hour. Here are the facts. The National Security Advisor has taken responsibility for this matter. And the National Security Council immediately said, alongside the White House counsel's office, that they are looking into how a reporter's number was inadvertently added to this messaging thread. We have said all along that no classified material was sent on this messaging thread. There were no locations, no sources, or methods revealed, and there were certainly no war plans discussed. The Atlantic has even admitted this themselves. Their release of these internal messages validates the truth, which we have been saying all along. If this story proves anything, it proves that Democrats and their propagandists in the mainstream media know how to fabricate, orchestrate, and disseminate a misinformation campaign quite well.
This is what we're here to do. Nobody's texting war plans. Well, I noticed this morning out came something that doesn't look like war plans. And as a matter of fact, they even changed the title to attack plans because they know it's not war plans. There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths, no sources, no methods, no classified information. You know who sees war plans? I see them every single day. I looked at them this morning. I looked at attack plans this morning.
Now let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Do you know how bad your excuses have to be for MAGA not to believe them? I mean, really. Do you know how bad? Do you know how bad it has to be for MAGAs not to buy it? These are people who voted for Trump as Latinos despite seeing mass deportation signs. Yes, these are people who voted for Trump as women despite their bodily autonomy being on the ballot. These are people who voted for Trump because the economy, despite double-digit bankruptcies and record-setting debt. These are people who thought Elon Musk was going to be the man to rescue the working class. That is who is calling Trump and his inner circle on their nonsense end. And you love to see it. Regarding this whole Signal debacle, the administration really just needs to come out and explicitly say they effed up. The word gymnastics is making it worse. Not Tomi Lahren. Tomi Lahren. I got to give her credit. I got to give her credit because she really has grown her anger base. You know, it used to be black men, but then she just came for Jasmine Crockett. And now this ain't us at all. Like she really, you know what I mean? She really stretched her wings. I knew when I saw her at a young age that she had good hate potential. You know, she was a great prospect in the draft, and she really has developed. They developed her hate in the G League, and she has really blossomed into quite an all-star. Trying to wordsmith the hell out of this debacle is making it worse. It was bad, and I'm honestly getting sick of the whataboutisms from my own side. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Admit the F up and move on. Now, as welcome as that is to hear, I gotta pull your coattails a little bit because you said you were sick about the whataboutisms and you had just gone for Jasmine Crockett. Now, needless to say, I don't want to do whataboutism, so I'm not gonna mention, you know, Trump himself mocking the disabled, so I'm not gonna go there. But what you said in response to that, you went and called her ratchet. You know what I mean? You went and called her ratchet. And that's the kind of stuff that frequently flows from your account. So if the whataboutisms is not what you want to engage in, what do you call it when you criticize somebody for something and then you, after the fact, go do the exact same thing? Right? Because I pointed that out then. We talking about something physical that somebody has no control over. That was you, right? That was you. And no, that tweet ain't come down. So, yeah. You can take that on with you. But there's more.
The Atlantic is a magazine that basically hates Trump, hates the left, hates people like me, think Business Insider, think New York Times, think New York Magazine, all the heavy left-leaning media organizations. The Atlantic is one of them. Like, I hate them. Trump hates them. They hate Trump. They probably hate me. So the editor, Jeffrey Goldberg, comes out after. He's like, hey, morons, you guys included me on a Signal group chat with sensitive classified information discussing the Houthis attack before it happened. Pete Hegseth, immediate reaction is like, no, that never happened. We didn't leak any classified information. No classified information in there. And Jeffrey Goldberg released all the text in the Signal group chat. And guess what? It's super sensitive. It's super classified. It's surreal that these guys added Jeffrey Goldberg to this group chat. I mean, they were talking about the attack, leading up to the attack, all the way to a couple hours, when they're going to do it, the time, the weather, you name it. And if this information somehow got out to the Houthis, and I assume in situations like this, things move at the speed of light, lots of American soldiers could have died, lives in jeopardy. So to me, a major, major, major glitch in intelligence and just a huge mistake. It looked like Michael Waltz, the national security advisor to the president, added Jeffrey Goldberg to the group chat by accident, and J.D. Vance is in it. It looks like he added him by accident. And listen, we've all texted the wrong person. We've all emailed the wrong person. We've all had somebody who shouldn't be in a group chat in our life.
That's me. That's me. There's somebody who shouldn't be in a group chat. That's in the group chat. That's me. If I'm in a group chat, I should not be in a group chat because I don't want to be in no group chats. This message to all y'all out there. Just take me off.
We are not the Secretary of Defense. We're not the National Security Advisor. We're not the Vice President of the United States. So, yeah, mistakes happen. This one can't. Here's my biggest issue with this. And this is in politics in general. The reaction of, like, Pete Hegseth and President Trump has been to kind of poo-poo it. Be like, there was no classified information in there. Trump's like, you know, how did Jeffrey Goldberg get in there? Like, did he hack it? Did he get in there? He didn't stay very long. The Atlantic is a horrible organization and a terrible magazine, which they are, and I hate them. And by the way, if Jeffrey Goldberg, he didn't hack it, he got added, but if he did hack it, that's almost more dangerous than somebody like Jeffrey Goldberg. If he can hack the most sensitive group chats, what are our enemies doing? Trump, I get being loyal to your people. I don't like firing people on innocent mistakes that they make. But this, and I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, you're mad about this, but we had a president like Biden with dementia who had the nuclear codes. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That wasn't right then, and this isn't right now. In this new administration, you want to take accountability. Trump, you may love Michael Waltz. You love Pete Hegseth. You may love these guys. Somebody has to go down. To me, it's Michael Waltz. He's the one who added him to this conversation. But you can't have the top of the top security people in the United States with the most sensitive information in the world adding random editors of a magazine that hates Trump's guts to a group chat talking about an attack before it happens on a terrorist group. You can't poo-poo it. You can't downplay it. You have to sit up there and be like, holy, this is a up of epic proportions. There will be accountability. I will get to the bottom of this. And frankly, I think, I don't like calling for people's heads. Michael Waltz, it seems like you're the guy who added him to the group chat. You have to lose your job. You should step down. You cannot be adding random people to a group chat with this sensitive classified information. Just be like, oh no, poo-poo, it's on him. He should have left the group chat instantly. This guy shouldn't have stayed in. It's on Jeffrey Goldberg for not immediately being like, hey, I should be here. No. It's on you for adding him. And this has to be something that, and this is why I hate politics, you have to stand up here and be like, what a up. I will demand answers, accountability in the heads. I don't care if you're right, left. There's nothing being made up here. Jeffrey Goldberg is telling the truth. It's obvious these texts are real. It's obvious they're classified. It's obvious we gave away the strike information 2 hours before it happened. We're lucky it didn't cause the death of American military members. Somebody has to go down for this. This is a mistake. This isn't a Barstool mistake where you let an idiot hang around like Mitzi. This is a mistake that can't happen twice. It cannot happen once. So you have to make a change and show it'll never happen. And these are the top intel guys that we have in the country. Adding a rando, the editor of The Atlantic, to the most sensitive group chat in the world, somebody's got to go down. That's just the facts. You can't poo-poo this.
Now, far be it for me to backpat Dave Portnoy, but that was solid. That was very well done. Right down to Pete Hegseth. That was solid. But he brings up a point that I actually didn't hit in my previous two videos all about this, because we've seen in the response a level of defiance from the administration. Now, just rewind back a couple of months to the confirmation hearings for Pete Hegseth and for, the Tulsi Gabbards and people of that nature. And there was significant opposition with people underscoring just how unqualified these people were for these positions, right? That was the chorus from the left and from the center, was these people are unqualified. But here's the thing. When you have unqualified people in significant positions, you have to work for them. See, the person who you dunk on when you surround yourself with unqualified people, at the end of the day, is you. Now, because we're talking about national security, it's everybody. So thank you, Maga, for that. But you are the one that has to work with them. And when their F-ups become apparent, when them being over their head becomes apparent, their inability to manage these things becomes apparent, all the things that people had said before they were put in those positions, if you want to be defiant and take it as a personal slight for them to be removed, well, you're being willfully ignorant to not only the evidence that was presented to you before, but the evidence that's being presented to you now.
I don't understand why the Trump administration, given President Trump's orders to fire and get rid of everybody from the FBI and the DOJ who was involved in persecuting and going after January 6ers, why he's allowed to have this position as the Deputy National Security Council advisor when his wife was involved in persecuting and going after January 6ers. She clerked for Justice Sotomayor, who called President Trump a white supremacist. So at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, who's doing the vetting here? And why is there so much nepotistic garbage that is basically creating a bunch of filth within the inner circle for Donald Trump?
Laura Loomer, did you just punch Pam Bondi for no reason on the way in? Yeah, I think you did. You gave her that Ving Rhames on the way in. That was solid. Also, did you just say nepotistic garbage?
Without your bravery, we're all out of luck. No, this can't be denied. You gotta be special.
Did you just say, why is there all this nepotistic garbage around Donald Trump?
I get it. My guys, who I stayed in touch with, many of them just dear friends, they're like, hey, dude, there's no way you would have gotten away with that. I go, I know. Luckily, I don't snort cocaine. Like, it's not my thing.
I know this ain't going where I think it's going. Go on.
It just seems like there's this pattern, this very unfortunate scenario where people who have serious conflicts of interest or conflicts as it relates to individuals and their family are allowed to surround the president, jeopardizing our own national security, but then actual loyalists are kept out of working with President Trump. The second part of the investigation that I published today.
I'm sorry, did you just say conflicts of interest? You just said conflicts of interest. And have access but you didn't mention Elon Musk by name. And you're posting this on his platform.
looking into Alex, who also used to work for Covington and Burling, which is one of the law firms that President Trump rescinded their security clearance and blocked them from getting any more federal contracts. So you have a guy who works for a firm that was stripped of their, security clearance, okay? And this guy who used to work for them is now the Deputy National Security Advisor and an assistant to the President of the United States. I don't know how the geniuses who work for President Trump square that up, but again, I don't know. I don't work for President Trump, so I can't really explain how they decipher all this vetting or lack of vetting and how they put 2 and 2 together when President Trump says, hey, we're going to have an executive order to make sure that we're stripping all these law firms that engaged in weaponized government against me and try to jail me and all of my loyalists. But then I'm going to make the guy that used to work for the same law firm my assistant and also the Deputy National Security Advisor under Michael Waltz.
So if I got you straight, the vetting was a problem. It's the vetting that's the problem. When we aired that out and we called people out for being unqualified, y'all wanted to own the libs, right? Y'all wanted to own the libs when we called people out for being unqualified. It was just about loyalists. Now you see a problem with the vetting process. That's what happens. That's what happens when you pick me into a corner. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. Now, that whole thing about nepotistic garbage being around Trump, I don't understand how you went with you literally called out nepotism, but protected Trump. You called out conflicts of interest, but protected Elon. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what is the end game here, Laura Loomer? Like, what are you doing? Oh, apparently here it is. Excited to announce I've launched my own opposition research firm called Loomer Strategies, your go-to bipartisan firm for executive level vetting, opposition research, and intelligence, rapid response, and your opponent's worst nightmare. Hey, somebody warn Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, somebody warned Marjorie Taylor because she said that before when they were going at. Now she back on that. You know what I mean? Oh no, here we go. Not only are we protecting Elon Musk, you're trying to finger someone else and saying, "Hi, Elon Musk, start your investigation here for what happened with Signal." So we're protecting Elon Musk from the conflict of interest and Trump from the nepotism. But we found somebody that we want to point the finger at. Now let's take a look at that. Did Laura Loomer just uncover who added the Atlantic reporter to the group chat? Remember, it wasn't only high-level folks on it. Alex Wong, the Chinese Deputy National Security Advisor appointed by President Trump, who's at the center of this SignalGate scandal, is married to U.S. Attorney Candace Chu Wong, a Chinese woman who was one of the key attorneys involved and prosecuting J6ers. Now let me get this straight. You are willing to just finger somebody and sick all of your supporters and followers and whoever onto them because you say so. That's where we're at. That's what you're willing to do. That's number one. Number two, did you just find a minority to blame? I think they did. I think they found a minority. They saw all those faces on the wall and was like, nah, it can't be none of them. Can't be none of them. It can't be none. Now, hey, dig. We can dig. Are you sure it wasn't Marco Rubio? I don't think. Was he on? Put a pin in Marco Rubio. But let's dig and see if there's any other definite minorities here. You just found, you know what? That's hard to do. I mean, I guess it's easy if you literally just look for a minority who was in on the call. But I mean, normally they not this on the nose. You know what I mean? I'm surprised they didn't just come with a photo of Mike Waltz in blackface. Like I would have came with a photo of Mike Waltz in blackface and said, there it is. Michael Jenkins. There it was Michael Jenkins. Michael Jenkins was on that. That's what happens. Y'all know that's what happens. Do you realize, and that's why I opened up the way that I did about, do you realize how bad your excuses have to be for MAGAs not to buy it? They are excusing all of Trump and his inner circle, despite the fact that the same guy who apparently added Jeffrey Goldberg left his whole Venmo account open. Oh yeah, we got that too. A Wired review shows National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and other top officials left sensitive information exposed via Venmo until Wired asked about it. That's crazy. So it wasn't just Michael Waltz. It was Michael Waltz. It was Susie Wiles. And y'all remember when Pete Hegseth left his open and we got to see all the contacts inside there as well. These are the brains that are on the group chat discussing the war plans where they included the journalists, but they blame the Asian guy. That's so MAGA. Is that Marjorie Taylor Greene? Yeah, you yell MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene always comes running.
Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary?
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
From the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you, no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your
vice
fake news.
president
Do you have a
and your
relevant
defense
question?
secretary.
Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asking.
I'm not answering her question
right,
because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can answer.
Do you have any concerns whatsoever about the complete disregard of operational security from the top level of this administration?
You want to know about complete disregard about operational security? You should talk about the Biden administration and how they ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drug trafficking across our borders for 4 years. The Trump administration is doing a great job, and I stand by their statements. I stand by their statements. My comment to you is I'm thankful to President Trump that he is leading us out of wars, that he's ending the war in Ukraine, where American lives could have been killed if Joe Biden was still president today, whether he liked it or not. We're talking about NPR and PBS today. We're talking about fake news that was funded with federal funding from American taxpayers. That's what this is about today, not journalists from the UK that should care about
their... A journalist is being vilified for exposing failings in the way that your government conducts itself.
Hey, Tomi Lahren, I got a ratchet over here. I got a ratchet. Yeah, I look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing that. And how about this whole idea that she doesn't care? We don't care about your opinion. You would if they respected you. You would if they respected. This is one thing we learned from Trump and MAGA. They will go along with any and everybody who uplifts them. They are in seek of growth of their own ego and nothing more. And I can tell you too, that ain't gonna help. That is not gonna help. But I do wanna thank you for the content for the next video that I have to put out about y'all coming for Jasmine Crockett and her sense of decorum. I cannot wait.
They don't care about public safety, they don't care about emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm going to skip off real quick because they have tried to come for you, Ms. Mayor, and I just want to clarify, you did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam
And to
Chair.
be clear, Free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is bullshit. We need to stop playing because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the...
The gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman's time has expired.
No law respecting or...
I need to finish this tomorrow. I'll be down in a second. Yeah, I'll be down in a second. Oh, hearing Marjorie Taylor Greene call Jasmine Crockett the gentlewoman will never get old. But as far as her saying they want to shut down everybody that's not Fox News, well, this whole video is about exactly why.
So Donald Trump's ratings on handling the economy, inflation, cost of living are all tanking. And we're seeing this administration's incompetence and recklessness on a scale unimaginable. I'm sure you guys saw this incredible Jeffrey Goldberg piece from right before we got on air a couple years ago about Goldberg, who is a journalist at The Atlantic, being invited into a private Signal chat with all of our national security heads. So Rubio, Hegseth, Waltz, Tulsi Gabbard, Scott Bessent's in there, et cetera. And they are planning on just Signal to drop bombs in Yemen. So they're not doing this in a skiff. They're doing it on an app that you and I, we all have on our phones. And it's obviously incredibly reckless, national security risks. I don't want to ever hear butthurt emails again. I don't know what's going to happen to anyone who's involved in something like this. But on top of it, you have the vice president. He's in there as well, contradicting Donald Trump on his policy on Europe. So all of this is going on. We're only a couple months into this administration.
And yeah, they accidentally leaked something to the media instead of
They didn't leak
the
it, they invited
Democrats
him in.
actually leaking classified information to the media, Jessica.
No.
All right? At least they didn't homebrew a server and acid wash it. But her emails, I just did it. A famous
Mar-a-Lago
Greek...
toilets,
a
and they
famous...
invited him in.
Mar-a-Lago toilets?
Yeah,
What are you talking
where
about?
the national security secrets that were
This is a
subpoenaed.
family show, Jessica. Clean it up.
Can we just... And shout out to Decoding Fox News for that. Always doing solid work. Legitimate coverage of the media, which certainly can't be said for everybody who's been featured here. But I have addressed most of you. But as far as you are concerned, Laura Loomer, I'm still trying to figure out where you going with all this, because it's sad to say it don't look like you gonna get that White House new media seat. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. It don't look like you going. Oh yeah. We know about that. And shout out to the Bulwark for this one. Laura Loomer, the far-right commentator that Trump raised eyebrows by inviting to travel with him on campaign last year, has not been able to convince members of Trump's administration to let her sit in the White House briefing room's new media seat. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has opened up her briefings by introducing a journalist from an outlet that isn't regularly welcome in the briefing room and allowing that person to ask the opening question. According to the Bulwark's Will Sommer, Loomer has applied to be recognized in the seat with no luck. Well, you know, if you take that in stride, you know, you gotta show them that you good without them. You know what I mean? If you had dated, you would know that. But I'm like, you gotta show them that you wrote what? I want a White House press pass. Could you imagine what I could help expose with one of those? I really want one. I applied the day the application opened. I really hope to get one so I can keep exposing corrupt judges and abuse of taxpayer funds. There's more. Interesting. How come NPR is allowed to have a White House correspondent in the traveling pool then? If President Trump really believes this, then his own staff should ban NPR from the White House press briefings. But my White House press pass still hasn't been approved. Remember you said you was going to expose conservatives? Remember that? Remember that whole Oppo research thing you was going to do? Remember that? This sounds like an origin story to me. I don't know what you waiting on. I mean, really. Are we about it or are we about it? We'll burn it down then. You gonna take that? Fight back, Laura Loomer. Fight back. Hey, if you're watching this, it means we did it. We hit the number. No, not that kind of number. But I do want to thank you for allowing me to get to such a momentous milestone of 400,000 subscribers. It has been your shares, your emails, your comments, just watching and supporting the channel that way that has allowed us to get to this point, and it has been invaluable. And I just hope moving forward that I can rise to the level that warrants such an accolade. But in the meantime, we're gonna celebrate. You know, you know how we do.
There's nothing wrong.
And what are you going to say to your fans when they ask you some questions about it?
I'm going to say I feel good.
We have a bunch of new merch that we're going to roll out. You can check out all the new stuff at reeswaters.com, which includes a new logo, by the way, so be on the lookout for that. And speaking of merch, I have some members discounts that will be coming your way. So to all of you members, be on the lookout for that. Or if you would like to join and get that discount, you can find a link in the description box to all of my videos. And you know, every time we reach a milestone, we always gotta have a party. You know we gotta have a party, so be on the lookout for the members live celebration. I'm gonna put a poll out on the community tab as I usually do to see what time works best for you guys, so check that out. In the meantime, I once again wanna say thank you. You didn't close the door. You didn't turn off the lights. You decided to come on and go with me and head on over to my place. Love, TKO.